Hi. So today we are here to have a major discussion about what types of sentences do we have in English language. For example, how do we talk about subject and how do we talk about predicate? When we talk about Ram has played a match. Here when we take about sentence, that means a sentence has two parts. About the person about whom we are talking, that is Ram. So we say Ram is the subject, and next is the complete part that we call as predicate. Predicate means everything that is other than the subject. Now the sentence which has all words other than subject are said to be the predicate of that sentence. What does a predicate consist of? A predicate consists of the verb, what form of verb it is, that is the tense that we talk about, and then we have object. Object means another noun, and it can be of any form. So how do we conclude? Ram has played a match, where Ram is said to have been a subject and has played a match is the predicate. Now coming to the main part that we wanted to discuss, we talk about what is a clause. We talk about clause in two forms. What is clause? If I generally we ask, what is the definition of a clause? We know that he is dead. Now, when we talk about this sentence, we say, we know that he is dead. We talk about two sentences. One, which is the main form of sentence. Second, which sentence is dependent upon the first sentence. For example, we take, we know. We know is a sentence. How? We is the subject here. That is what I repeated earlier also. We have subject and predicate. So when we talk about one sentence, we know. We is the subject and know is the verb. So a sentence basically consists of subject and verb, which automatically states that we know is a sentence, subject and verb. It makes its own sense. We know. Now coming to the other part, that he is dead. Where, what is that? That is a subordinating conjunction. Now what is subordinating conjunction? A conjunction which makes us realize that one sentence is dependent on the other. For example, if we talk about this part, here I take another color here, we talk about this part, that he is dead, is a sentence which is dependent on the verb that. That is a conjunction which is joining two sentences, right? The first part was we know, which is already complete in itself. Second, we know that he is dead. That he is dead is again another sentence which has one subordinating conjunction. So, when we talk about subordinating conjunction, this part is left over. When we talk about other sentence, then I come to this part. He is dead. When I take he is dead, now look at the subject again. What is he is dead? This means he is the subject and is again the verb, and this is just a filler. it is not an object. Dead is not an object. Object has one rule, it is supposed to be a noun. So, in total, we come to know how many types of sentences are there. Now, I take it in the form of yellow color. This is one sentence. We talk about this. And then he is dead in another form. That means this complete sentence has two sentences. He, we know. Second is he is dead. But what do we have in the center? Which word is joining two sentences? We know he is dead. That. We have that. That is a subordinating conjunction. We have already discussed what is a coordinating conjunction and what is a subordinating conjunction. So, subordinating conjunction, when it is placed in such a form that it makes one sense dependent on the other sentence, then it is called to be a clause. Which clause? Dependent clause. Coming to this part, I rub this part again. I take it in this form now. We know that he is dead. Again, taking the same form, we know is one sentence. First, second point is it is independent. It is independent means does not depend on others or does not depend on anyone. Right? Third is it does not contain any subordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunction. Right? Fine. Repeating again, I would like to repeat the same thing. We know is a sentence. We know it is an independent sentence which does not depend on any other sentence. Third, it does not contain any subordinating conjunction. Hence, it is called as independent clause. What do we call it? Independent clause. Right? Now coming to other part. Let's talk about that. He is dead. If we talk about this, again I take, or we can take it that he is dead. Second sentence, that he is dead. It is dependent on first sentence. These are the changes that we have made. Second sentence is dependent on the first sentence, right? It does not contain any subordinating conjunction. No, it's wrong. So what do we say? It yes, it contains a subordinating conjunction. It contains a subordinating conjunction. Hence, it clears all the rules. Now, I add one more point here. Second sentence is a dependent clause because it has one SC, subordinating conjunctions. So we have short forms. We know is the independent clause, so we say IC. That he is dead is the dependent clause, hence we call it as DC, dependent clause, right? Now coming to the other part of the picture, so hence we clean the complete thing. Now I will be sharing with you some sentences where we are going to make out the difference between dependent and independent clause. We have to specify how many types of clauses are there. But before doing that, I would like to give you an example based on types of clauses. Now, various types of clauses. I said independent clause is not taken into picture. We have dependent clauses of three types. The first one says we have noun clause, right? The second picture says we have adjective clause. Our next picture says we have adverb clause. Three clauses. Again, I would like to repeat. One is noun clause, then we have adjective clause, and third we have adverb clause. That means that is quite clear. A sentence combined using a subordinating conjunction has two clauses. One is independent clause and one is dependent clause. Independent clause has no subordinating conjunction. Dependent clause has one subordinating conjunction. Hence, the sentence which has subordinating conjunction is dependent clause and it depends upon the first independent clause, right? Now coming to the first clause, noun clause. As the name suggests, a clause which acts like a noun is called as a noun clause. A clause which acts like an adjective is said to be adjective clause, and a noun which acts like an adverb is said to be adverb clause. So three of them make a difference. One by one we are going to talk about this. First we will take noun clause, right? Here talking about the noun clause. Noun clause is also a type of clause which again consists of two clauses. One clause is automatically going to be independent clause and the second clause automatically turns out to be a dependent clause. So that means one subordinating conjunction which will be acting like a type of clause which can be considered using the conjunction that, etc., etc. I take an example. Dash is a fact. Now, I take it into a very simple form. If I write the news is a fact. So my dear children, now let me make it very clear. This was already a sentence whose subject was missing. Whose subject was missing. What is it now? Supposingly, I take the news is a fact. The news is a noun clause. Do you say it is a noun clause? My answer is no. This is not a noun clause. What was the condition for us to call a sentence as a clause or as an independent clause? So what do we take into control? We said any sentence which has its own subject and predicate is said to be an independent clause. The news is only one single noun. It is not a complete sentence. It cannot be called as a clause. Now, how to convert it? A clause has a subordinating conjunction. Always remember that. A clause always has a subordinating conjunction. That is how it becomes a dependent clause. This is already known. Dash is a fact. It's quite true. It's quite a common thing. Dash is a fact. Let's do it now. That he is a known artist is a fact. Now, I will qualify this into two parts. Again, let us discuss. This is, what is that, children? That is again the SC that we had been talking about. Now starts the main sentence. What is it? Let's qualify. He is a subject. Is a verb. And a known artist is again an object. But here we go. What is the word that is making the whole sentence independent or dependent? That. Very right. That is the only word which is acting like a subordinating conjunction. And we know subordinating conjunction makes the sentence dependent. Hence, it depends upon some other sentence. Now, what is that other sentence? That other sentence is independent clause. What is it? Dash is a fact. The news is a fact, but not a clause. That he is a known artist, where that is a subordinating conjunction. He is the subject, is the verb, a known artist is an object. Hence, completing this statement, this complete thing, I take it this way. Now look carefully. I take it this way. This complete thing is said to be noun clause because it is acting as a noun. Noun to what? Noun to the verb is. Here comes your is. It is acting like a noun to the verb is. What was the news? I told you the news is a fact. So what was news? The news was acting as the noun to the verb is. Similarly, we go with the second sentence, that he is a known artist is a fact. Hence, the first dash is acting like a noun. We have to supply a noun. Taking another example. I take another example. We go like this now. Okay. Now, if I talk about this, Dash is a famous teacher. So, automatically, your expected answer is going to be what? Mrs. Shona is a famous teacher. Everybody knows her because she is a renowned teacher, she is a renowned preceptor, she is a renowned educationist, she is a renowned philanthropist, she is a renowned social worker. My question is, do you say it is a clause? No. Because for being a clause, it needs its subject, it needs its verb, and it needs a subordinating conjunction. Is subordinating conjunction there? No. One thing is clear that Mrs. Shona is a noun. Hence, we complete the condition, but noun is only one word, whereas noun clause is a group of words which has its own sense, but it gets attached with a subordinating conjunction, hence becoming dependent on the independent sentence. What is the independent sentence here? Dash is a famous teacher, Mrs. Shona is a famous teacher. Now, how do we convert into a clause? Look at it now. That everyone present here knows that she is a famous teacher. So many words make a clause. Coming to the next point. Everyone present here knows that. What? Everyone is again a subject. Present here is the verb. This is again adverb. Knows that. What is that? Subordinating conjunction. Hence, this complete thing, I repeat my words, this complete thing is definitely leading to a noun clause. And it is acting as a noun to the verb is. Everyone present here knows that she is a famous teacher. Coming to the third part, we take another example for this. We take into consideration the third example now. How to manifest what is a noun clause? We need to have complete strata of a noun clause. How do we call it? I take another thing. For example, that he has been murdered is known to everyone. Now, my next question is, which type of clause is it? How do you come to know which clause we are talking about? We see the first rule. What is it? What is known to everyone? This is the first question that comes to our mind. What is known to everyone? Right? If I need to answer, I can answer in one word also. We say the formula is known to everyone, right? Is it okay? It makes sense? But my question is again the same thing. What? Is the formula a complete noun clause? No ways. Then what? What have we discussed earlier? A noun clause needs to have one subordinating conjunction. It needs to have complete one sentence. That is, it becomes independent clause or dependent clause. Now here, dash is known to everyone is already a known clause, that is independent clause. How to make it dependent? I write that she has topped is in Haryana is known to everyone. Wow, everyone means everybody knows that she has topped in the class. Now here, automatically we get all our answers. What is it? That, I change the color here to just make the rule clear, subordinating conjunction. First condition. Second condition, she is the subject of that dependent clause because it has subordinating conjunction in it. She has topped, that is present perfect form of the verb, right? And topped in Haryana is again part of predicate. So this is a complete sentence along with SC. Hence, it is acting like a noun to the verb is. So, we take this complete part as a dependent clause that she has topped in Haryana is known to everyone. I hope now all these points are made clear to you. Hence, making it clear that noun clause is said to be a noun clause because it consists of a noun. It does the function of a noun, but it becomes clause only when it has its own subject and predicate consists of the verb, the object, the noun, which facilitates the complete sense of the sentence. Right. So hence it is making noun clause clear. Now coming to the second form, that is, what is the other form of the clause? We talk about adjective clause. What is adjective clause? Talking about adjective clause here. Yeah. This is a house. It was built by my grandfather. Clear? How you are going to make it one sentence? One sentence, again taking use of a clause, playing the role of adjective clause. What is the complete sentence now? How do we make the necessary changes? This is the house which was built by my grandfather. Now, what are the necessary changes made in this? I tell you, we talk about one independent sentence. This is a house. Complete. Then, it was built. Again, it means the house. So, how are we going to make a relationship between the two sentences? Adjective means relative. Relative means how one sentence and how the other sentence combine to frame a relation. Now, what is the relation between this and built by my grandfather? How do we combine it? It says, this is the house which. अब हिंदी में हम इसकी बात करते हैं, जौन सा, जिसने, जिसे, जिसको. All these words in Hindi are making a relationship, and that is how we are going to convert it into Jonsa, which, jisne, who, jis, whom. That is how a relation is built. Right? She is my English teacher. She is highly educated. Again, we take two forms now. She is my English teacher. This is the first sentence which has its own sense, but no relationship has been built. We take about the second part. We say, she is highly educated. Now, this is again the second part. Right? How do we say? She is my English teacher who is highly educated. Now, what is the relationship built between the two? She is my English teacher who, कौन, वही, who is highly educated. Hence, it makes a complete meaning. So, we have built up a relationship between the two sentences by writing or by adding a word. Now, what is this word? This word is again subordinating conjunction. Look here. Who, which, whose, whom, where. These are all the words which basically form a relation. Relation which always combines two people. There are various relations. Relationship in the sentence also. Relationship like adjective which adds two sentences, hence leading to one sentence. But the moment this relative word, the relative word which is called as subordinating conjunction, gets attached with one sentence, it makes it dependent clause. Now, what is the independent clause? She is my English teacher is the independent clause. What is the dependent clause? Who is highly educated? When we add who here, this becomes subject subordinating conjunction, hence making the whole clause dependent on the independent clause. I hope this suffices the complete form of adjective clause. So there are various words already I have dictated to you, which all words are acting like relative verb, which are acting like subordinating conjunction, hence joining two sentences, and it is also said to be adjective clause. I will be giving you more exercises, hence it will become clearer to you how to use, when to use, where to use noun clause, adverb clause, adjective clause, hence now leading to our third form. Third form says when, how, what time, how many times, when, how, what time, how many times, then reason, contrast, then purpose, then comparison, adverb clause of comparison. All these factors are going to talk about adverb clause. What is an adverb clause? My question again comes back to the same. How many sentences does it contain? Again, my dear, two sentences. One is independent clause, one is the dependent clause. Dependent clause consists of one subordinating conjunction and it depends upon the independent clause. So, who is the master of all? Independent clause. Dependent clause depends upon the independent clause, so it cannot be the master, right? Now coming to the complete explanation of this. Hence, it talks about this is the place where he used to play. This is the place where he used to play. So what are we telling about? What is the thing that is being talked about? We are concentrating upon the word place. Clear? Where is he? He has gone to play outside. So what is again he is describing? The place. Right? You will find the principal in his office. So where will you find the principal? Let's talk about it. In the office. Where are the children right now? All the children are hiding in the library. So dear, my question is, where are they? Which place is being talked about? Hence, when we talk about a particular place, it is said to be adverb clause of place, right? Adverb clause of place, hence the library. Now again, in synchronization, we talk about the same thing. I talk about the first sentence again. This is the place where he used to play. He has gone to play outside. You will find the principal in his office. All the children are hiding in the library. So these all places are indicating the place, hence adverb clause of place. Now, when we talk about this thing, automatically you will get an idea. When we talk about a place, it is called adverb clause of place. Right? Okay. Now, my second context is, when will you go to school? When will you go to your school? If he says, I will go on Monday, then it is fine. If he says, I will go on Saturday, it is fine. If he says, I will go seventh period, that is also fine because it is describing the time. If he says tomorrow, then also it is fine because it is describing the time. And if he says today evening, then also it is right because it is mentioning the time. Hence, whenever we talk about the particular time in which a work is to be done, it is said to be adverb clause of time because it is talking about time, it is talking about when the thing has to be done, it is talking about that particular day, or it is talking about that particular time, but the day also indicates the time. For example, Monday, Saturday, seventh period, tomorrow, and today evening. I hope it is clear to everybody now. When do we come to know it is adverb clause of time? Whenever you get to have such words in your sentences, it clearly indicates we are talking about adverb clause of time. Now coming to the third point. How do we do the work? My question is, how do we do the work? She sang a song at the party. How? How did she sing? When she was singing, was she smiling? When she was singing, was she smiling? Or when she was singing, she had tears in her eyes. So the answer is substituted by, how was she singing? She sang the song happily. This indicates what was the mode of singing. Was she happy while singing the song, or she was sad? Which picture indicates that she was sad? She sang the song at the party crying. Right? So this is what we call as the mode of doing a particular action, that we say action means manner. How a particular work is done. Are you crying while doing that work? Are you happy while doing that work? Are you excited while you do that work? Are you, overjoyed, or you are melancholic while doing that work? This clearly indicates the manner of doing the work, hence leading to adverb clause of manner. So what three we have done? First of all, we did adverb of place. It tells us where the place is. Second is adverb clause of time. It indicates what time are we talking. Third is adverb clause of manner, which indicates how the work was being done. Hence leading to adverb clause of manner. right? Now coming to our fourth point, that is adverb clause of condition. Now I'm going to discuss about condition. How many of you know when do we imply the condition? When you have a preconceived notion in your mind. When do we have that notion? When do we describe that notion? Yeah. If I am invited, I will go there. Right? If we get time, we will play. Right? If they allow us, we will go to the market. So where do we enhance the condition? Which sentence indicates that we are implying a condition? If, a big word here. It is a big word. If, hence indicating condition. And as the sentences are indicating, it is quite clear all the sentences which have if are the dependent clauses, because subordinating condition, that is if, is said to be a subordinating conjunction. Hence, clearly giving an indication that we have one set of sentence which makes it the sentence as dependent, and it is depending on which form? The other sentence, which is of course called as the independent clause. So 4 types. First is adverb clause of place. Second, we talk about adverb clause of time. Third, we talk of adverb clause of manner, that is how. And fourth is adverb clause of condition, that is if.